Hello YouTube. Today I'll be doing a review of the Ortlieb Atrack backpack. So Ortlieb is a German brand and they're used to making various bike bags such as the ones that go on your seat or on the frame of your bike. And I believe the Ortlieb Atrack is one of their first forays into a general backpack. And the most distinguishing feature of this bag is definitely the waterproofness, and I have it here in the mustard color. This is the 25 liter version. They also make one for 35 liters and 45 liters. So first thing first, I love the color of this bag. It really stands out great when you're out in the city or on a hike. And Ortlieb advertises this bag. The purpose is for a very general purpose. For example, you can bring it on your plane as a carry-on, use it in the city that you're in, take it for a hike, and this is a very versatile bag that they're advertising this bag is for. So does this bag live up to Ortlieb's brand and Ortlieb's promotion about its purpose? So that's what we'll talk about today. So how is this backpack opened? So first, you loosen the strap here, and then you loosen the second strap here. Turn the backpack around, and it's ready to be opened. Full access. How you close it, take the zipper. Here is the gap. So you want to make sure the zipper is fully zipped. Click, tighten it, and now you're ready to go. I test drove this bag, went on a few hikes with it. I took it as a carry-on on a recent trip to Taiwan, and I hope in this review I can talk to you about how this bag performs and whether it's something that you should look at as an everyday carry bag. Let's start with the positives and then we'll talk about the negatives. The first positive that I think is the number one positive is that this bag is fully waterproof. It does have the IP, I think it's 67 certification, which means it's dust proof and it's waterproof. And I believe this is one of the only bags that are out on the market now that are fully waterproof. And by fully waterproof, I mean that you could throw this bag into the ocean or a lake and it's going to float because it's waterproof. And how it achieves this is first by the material, and then secondly by this zipper on the back of the bag, which is the technology is called T-zip, and I believe it's Ortlieb's one of Ortlieb's companies. So this bag, because of this zipper, it's 100% waterproof. Here's how you open it. And then when you close it, at the top here, you'll hear a click, and now it's waterproof. So to me, that's probably my favorite feature of this bag, is that it is 100% waterproof. I'm not afraid to use this whether in the rain or if I'm by the water. I know this bag can handle it. Number two, the hip straps and the strap support of this bag make it probably one of the most comfortable backpacks that I've ever used. And why I say this is because there's thick padding, first on the shoulders, on the back, shoulders back, as well as very sturdy hip belts that wrap around your hip and provide you the support you need. One of the biggest advantages of this strap system is that it is adjustable to different torso lengths, so you can find the perfect fit for yourself. As well, there's an air gap between the back panel, between the back panels and the actual backpack. So this little air gap here, it lets your back breathe. If you're traveling in a hot place, for example, when I was in Taiwan, it was 25 degrees and sunny, and it got sweaty. What this little gap is amazing for keeping that sweaty back off your backpack and making you just feel more comfortable. Number 3, this bag, I feel, even though it's more meant for a hiking style backpack, it is great for in the city, especially where there's problems with pickpockets. Now Taiwan, or Taipei, is a relatively safe city, so I didn't really have to worry about that. But if I was traveling in Europe, in a train station, at the airport, whatever, because the only access from this bag is from the back, from the rear, so the zipper will be facing your back, there is no way that anyone will be able to access anything in your bag while you're wearing it. So I would say this bag is essentially theft proof, unless someone were to try to cut your bag, which would be pretty hard with the tough material that Ortlieb has used for the bag. In terms of storage on the outside, there are 2 water pockets, one on each side of the bag. As well, you might see a whole bunch of these blue straps. So there is an accessory kit that is purchased separately. It's about $20 US that allow you to attach different outdoor accessories to your bag. For example, there's an accessory to help you attach hiking poles or skis, snowshoes, etc. But it is a separate purchase, and without that separate accessory kit, I think these straps are relatively limited just to compressing the bag when it's full. Number 4. When this bag is worn, there is a quick, easy way to access it, and that's through the hip strap. While you have the hip strap attached to your hip, all you have to do is detach the sternum strap and spin it around and place it in front of you, and you'll be able to access the bag from there. In that way, you have 2-hand access to your bag, and you can see everything that's in it all at one glance, which is great. Number 5, easy adjustment of the straps. This bag is the straps are extremely adjustable. First, you have your regular shoulder strap length adjustment. Adjust the length for your shoulder straps. The hip belt strap can also be adjusted the length, so the standard adjustment. There is a sternum strap as well, and also forgot what these are called, but they pull the bag closer to their shoulder when it's on you. So it's very adjustable, and I would say when I was mostly carrying this bag, it was quite full, and it's quite heavy if you just carry it like this. But once it's on your back, the hip straps are on, the sternum strap is on, all the straps are adjusted properly. It feels much lighter than it actually is. Number 6. There are 4 zippered pockets inside the bag that help with organization, which I find quite convenient. So this is the inside of the bag. Here's the first pocket, second pocket, and then third pocket, fourth pocket. And the zippers are smooth. Zippers are extremely smooth, and they're great just for example for putting power banks, memory cards, hand sanitizers, whatnot. Just however way you want to organize it. There's 4 zippered bags inside for you to organize in the otherwise open storage here. Number 7. Number 7 are the 2 hip pouches right on the hip strap here. So this is hip pouch 1. It's made of a soft, stretchy material. And here is pouch too. Again, the same size. And what this space was useful for, I found, was it's not really that big enough to carry something like a camera. Maybe it'll fit your point and shoot, but I found it very useful for putting something that you always have in handy, for example, a hand sanitizer or a smart card for public transit, whatever. And this just helps you. I even put a pair of sunglasses in here. This just helps you have them available for quick access. One thing to be careful of though is when you take the backpack off, if you have something that's delicate inside these pockets, you don't want your hip belt flailing around and hitting something, and then whatever's inside might be damaged. Now I'll talk about the negatives of this bag. So the first negative is related to the zipper. Now the zipper, as I mentioned before, was a pro because it makes the bag completely waterproof. But the negative is that when you have the backpack, the zipper operation is basically impossible to use one-handed. There's no way to open the bag with one hand. You have to have your other hand here, pull, and I read some reviews online saying you'll get used to this strength, but I do find it still being a bit tough to pull open the zipper. And when you open the zipper, you see here, until the zipper is completely opened, you have limited access to what's inside, because the backpack, because of the strength, when I let go, the backpack closes by itself, and it makes it hard to find things that are in there. As a result, you need to open the whole bag, which, for example, when you're out in the busy city, sometimes you don't want to open the whole bag because things could fall out, it could be crowded nearby, and you just want to avoid opening your whole bag. Versus a traditional top-loading backpack, you open the top zipper, stick your hand in, grab whatever you need, and that's all. This bag, I have to open it pretty much to here, and then now you have the full access into the bag. Now that brings to the second issue, which is when the zipper is fully opened, it also makes the zipper extremely hard to close unless you adjust the shape, adjust the position of the backpack. As you can see, there's no way I can close it. With this, I have to use two hands, turn over, close it, zip, and then tighten like that. But I'd say this backpack is very good if you don't need to access whatever's in it that often. But if you're looking for a bag where you have to access what's inside very often, it might not be the most convenient option. The second con is that basically what I talked about, two hands are required to open the bag. The second negative is that this bag is heavy. Now this is a 25-liter backpack and it weighs 3.2 pounds. Now that is, compared to other bags of this size, a little on the heavy side, but like I mentioned before, once you have it on your back, hip straps are attached, shoulder straps, all the straps properly adjusted, the weight is fine. But if you're just walking around and you want to throw on this bag, have the hip straps dangling, you are going to feel the weight on your shoulders. Because this bag is quite heavy and it's big. The shape, it's long. So if you're using this bag, put on all the straps properly, and the weight is not that big an issue. But I do find it noticeably heavier than other bags I have, especially when lifting it like this by hand. The next con is that I find this bag to be wonderful in the outdoors, but in crowded urban environments such as Taipei, the size and all the straps, as well as when you have the bag on and you don't have the hip straps connected, the hip straps sort of fly around and they can get in the way of other people, or sometimes when you're walking you need to be careful not to bump these straps onto others. So in the urban environment, it's not the sleekest backpack just because of the size and all the straps. as well to gain access. As I mentioned, you need to either swing the bag around while it's on your hip and open the zipper with 2 hands, or you have to completely take off the backpack, put it on the ground, put it on the floor or on the ground, or hold it, and then open the backpack like this. And it's easier now because the backpack is completely empty, but when you have heavy stuff in there, this whole process becomes a bit more cumbersome. As well, I find when there are items in the backpack, sometimes the zipper can be a bit tough to open, especially when it gets stuck at odd angles. So what I mean is this: backpack's open, say there's some angle and there's some items in the backpack and the backpack is angled, it becomes sometimes hard to pull up over the angle. Basically, you have to straighten the zipper and then pull and close. So that's my review of the Ortlieb Atrack backpack. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below and I'll try to respond to them when I have time. Thank you for watching.